Hello everybody and welcome back for another video. Today we're going to be talking about secret ornamental language, and this should be interesting, so let's get into it. Now, the question that is posed is, why did the Renaissance painters use fake Arabic writing in their paintings? That is a good question. So as I was looking into this, it turns out that some Italian paintings, a lot of them from the 1400s primarily, they featured a delicate flowing script that at first glance appears to be Arabic, but a closer look reveals that it's actually a simulated script. And unfortunately for them, prior to the 1500s, hardly any Europeans actually knew the language, so the solution, fake Arabic. So you will notice on a lot of these Renaissance paintings, a lot of them from the 1400s, they have this Pseudo-Arabic script, and we're told it's meaningless, but as we look further into this, it may actually have a lost meaning. Potentially. This is another painting from, I believe, 1423, the Adoration of the Magi, and in the halo of the Virgin Mary, there is more of this, what's referred to as Pseudo-Arabic script. I've heard it called Pseudo-Kufic script as well. Here's just another shot of that one particular painting, but it can be found on many others, including the Madonna and Child with Angels from 1430. And just zooming in on this part of the painting, and you can see more of this Pseudo-Arabic script. And this particular painting, I believe, is supposed to be the Apostle Paul, and this area around where he's holding the book, you can see more of this script. So it's just an interesting phenomenon that these really renowned painters, in some case, they're putting this fake script on their paintings. And, you know, to some degree, I can even get on board with that. But this pseudo script, the Pseudo-Arabic, shows up on structures as well. So it's not just in Renaissance paintings, but you can find it associated with churches and cathedrals. This particular one, part of the metal facade on the main door of the Cathedral of Seville. So that adds another element to it. And artifacts like this enamel ciborium, sorry if I butchered that, but it's from the city Limoges in France, and it dates to the 1200s. So prior to those paintings, those Renaissance paintings, you have potentially older artifact, and along this band of this artifact here, which I believe is ultimately a fancy cup, but along this band, you have this Pseudo-Arabic Kufic script that was a recurrent ornamental feature in Limoges and had long been adopted in Aquitaine. So the continued use of this makes me think maybe actually it does have a meaning, and we're just told it's ornamental, just like some of these dead languages. But there's even a monastery in Greece that you can find adorning the brickwork more of this Pseudo-Kufic or Arabic script. So now we're in different parts of the world. You know, we're not just in Western Europe, and they're still finding more of this false or pseudo script, and makes me think that there's more to this. And I believe this monastery dates to the 11th century or something like that. So it's supposed to be really old. So we're in different parts of the world, and we're still finding this pseudo script. So it makes me think there's some reality to it, that it actually had a meaning at one point. But within that monastery, I believe there's a fresco of the prophet Joshua talking with an angel, but his helmet adorns more of this Pseudo-Arabic. And Cappadocia in Turkey, more frescoes, and adorning their pant leg here is some more of that script. And I think this particular work of art is this triptych showing the 40 martyrs. It's in the Hermitage in St. Petersburg. And there's some question about the dating of this, but you can find on one of the shields on the left pane of this particular work, if we zoom in on it, you can find more of this Pseudo-Kufic on the face of the shield. So it just makes me think, yeah, there's more to this, and it's an interesting study. And this, I'm just scratching the surface with this, but I wanted to introduce you guys to this because I had never really heard of this Pseudo-Arabic, these inscriptions before. So thought I'd pass it along to you guys. Now, one more thing I want to add, speaking of Renaissance paintings, something else shows up a lot, and it's these scalloped shells, and it's usually in combination with a female figure. And, in this case, I believe it's Virgin Mary, and this is the Annunciation from Leonardo da Vinci, but you have the Birth of Venus, another famous artwork, and you have Venus standing on a large scallop shell. So there's this connection between female deity and these scallop shells. And it was even displayed in a movie, The Adventures of Baron Munchausen, and another painting, Madonna and Child with Saints. And if you look above her, again, the scallop shell. So it seems to be a consistent theme, and there's even physical artifacts that feature a scallop shell and a female figure. In this case, we're told it's Aphrodite. But again, it seems like there's this connection that's been carried forward into Renaissance paintings. And you can even find sculptures being depicted associated, for instance, with this palace in Italy. Above the figure here, you have the scallop shell. And what I wanted to mention is there is this pilgrim trail that leads to a Spanish cathedral, and it is just lined along this trail. You can find these scallop shells, and they point the way to the cathedral. So I found that really interesting. And you have these markers, and typically this symbol, it is yellow with a blue background, and I believe usually these markers are separated by 1 kilometer, and just a really interesting phenomenon. And here's the cathedral along this particular trail, and just more of these markers. But yeah, this cathedral and along the trail, there seems to be a connection with the Black Madonna. So again, where you see these scallop shells or these symbols that seem to be a scallop shell, basically, there's a connection with this goddess figure. So I just wanted to point this out because it's just another thing that shows up in these Renaissance paintings. So thought it was interesting. And yeah, that's about all I got for you for today. And of course, before I leave, Shell, the gas company, with their logo, and I'm sure there's more to that as well. So I think that's about all I got for you for today. I'll give a big shout out to my channel members. Thank you for your help and support, as well as all my patrons. Thank you very much. Really do appreciate all of your support. So with that being said, I think I will sign off. So until next time, take care. Bye.